Number 12. The dark behind the shower curtain. You know that split-second dread? It's the one that hits just as you step into a pitch-black bathroom, fumbling for the light switch, and your brain immediately conjures something truly horrifying lurking just beyond the shower curtain. Or maybe it's the quiet anxiety that prickles your skin when you're walking down a dimly lit hallway in your own home, and you just know something is standing in that corner, watching. We're not talking about a rational fear of slipping on a wet floor or tripping over your cat. This is the primal lizard brain certainty that if you can't see it, it's probably got fangs. It's the kind of fear that makes you sprint from the light switch to your bed like a madman, convinced something's nipping at your heels. Here's the hilarious irony. For millennia, our ancestors lived in a world where the dark truly was teeming with things that wanted to eat them, or at least shank them with a sharp stick. Your comfy, well-insulated home is a modern invention, but your amygdala, that tiny, almond-shaped part of your brain responsible for processing fear, still thinks you rehuddled in a cave, listening for the rustle of a saber-toothed tiger in the bushes. So when the lights go out, your brain isn't just imagining things, it's doing its ancient job, dutifully reminding you that in the grand scheme of things, you're still just a soft, fleshy bag of bones, easily snatched in the darkness. Basically, your brain is overqualified for your suburban life and still prepping for the apocalypse. Number 11. Why we hate the sound of chewing. Ever sat across from someone at dinner and they're innocent? Rhythmic chewing somehow morphs into the most offensive, rage-inducing sound known to humanity. It's not just you. The sheer, unadulterated loathing for the wet, squishy, overly loud mastication of another human being is a phenomenon that bafflingly unites a significant portion of the population. We're talking about misophonia, or hatred of sound. And while it's often dismissed as a quirky pet peeve, its roots might plunge deeper into our evolutionary past than you'd think. Imagine you're a hunter-gatherer, millennia ago, trying to remain undetected in a hostile environment. Silence is literally survival. Loud, uncontrolled noises, especially those associated with eating, could easily give away your position to a predator or, just as dangerous, a rival tribe. The rustling of leaves, the snap of a twig, or the slobbering sound of someone noisily devouring their hard-won berries could mean. The difference between a full belly and being a full belly? Our brains might have developed an innate aversion to such sounds, not because they're inherently unpleasant, but because they once signaled a lapse in critical stealth, a breach of survival protocol. So, next time someone's chomping their chips like a T-Rex, your internal monologue isn't just being petty. It's a tiny, anachronistic warning system screaming about the vital need for situational awareness. Your brain is basically yelling, "Stop making so much noise, you're going to get us killed." Number 10. The unsettling urge to jump from high places. You're standing on the edge of a cliff, admiring the breathtaking view, or maybe just gazing down from the top floor of a skyscraper. Suddenly, a bizarre, fleeting thought flashes through your mind. What if I just stepped off? Don't worry, you're not secretly suicidal. This bizarre phenomenon, often called the call of the void or l'appel du vide, is surprisingly common and, ironically, a sign that you actually want to live. Psychologists suggest it's not an urge to end it all, but rather your brain's clumsy way of affirming your desire to not fall. It's an instantaneous burst of existential awareness where your brain processes the immense danger and the potential for a catastrophic outcome, then immediately backtracks with a resounding nope. It's like your internal safety system running a quick, high-stakes simulation to confirm all parameters are set to stay alive. This hyper-awareness of danger is a critical survival instinct. Back when our ancestors were scaling rocky outcrops for shelter or hunting, an immediate, visceral recognition of gravity's unforgiving nature was paramount. Those who lacked that momentary call of the void might have been a bit too casual near precarious ledges. So, that unsettling little whisper telling you to jump? It's just your brain screaming, "Hey, idiot, don't you dare." A very ancient, very effective reminder to stay put and appreciate the view from a safe distance. Number 9. That creepy feeling of being watched. You're alone in a room, maybe just scrolling on your phone. And suddenly, for no discernible reason, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. You get that undeniable, deeply unsettling sensation that someone is watching you, even though you're absolutely positively alone. You might even whip your head around half expecting to see a shadowy figure in the corner, only to find nothing, just your suspiciously normal lampshade. This isn't paranoia kicking in. This is a fascinating relic of our ancestors' need for hypervigilance. In a world where predators and rival tribes were very real threats, and camouflage was the ultimate defense, the ability to detect a hidden gaze or an unseen presence could mean the difference between life and death. Our brains developed an incredibly sophisticated system for pattern recognition, especially when it came to detecting potential threats. It's so good, in fact, that it can sometimes conjure a presence out of thin air, a trick of the light. A creaking floorboard, or even just an unexpected shift in air pressure, can trigger this ancient alarm bell. So, when you feel like you're starring in your own low-budget horror movie, it's just your brain's sophisticated threat detection system going. Better safe than sorry, pal. Someone might be about to pounce. It's basically your internal security system giving you a false alarm, just to stay sharp. Number 8. The weird fear of open spaces. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Why would a wide-open field, a bustling town square, or even a supermarket trigger intense anxiety or panic in some people? We often hear about claustrophobia, the fear of enclosed spaces, but agoraphobia. The fear of open or crowded spaces feels far more perplexing. Yet, at its core, this seemingly modern anxiety might tap into ancient survival programming. For early humans, safety often meant being within the confines of a cave, a dense forest, or a small defensible clearing. Wide open plains, while offering a clear view, also offered no cover from predators or hostile groups. Being exposed with no immediate escape route or hiding place triggered a profound sense of vulnerability. Our ancestors thrived in environments where they could easily find shelter, blend in, or make a quick retreat. A vast exposed space, especially one with many unpredictable elements, would have screamed danger. To a primal brain, the modern world, with its sprawling malls and wide city streets, still presents these exposed scenarios. So, for some, that seemingly irrational panic in an open space isn't just a quirk. It's a deeply ingrained, if overzealous, ancient alarm bell screaming, "You're too exposed, get to cover." Your brain is basically throwing a fit because it can't find a decent hiding spot. Number 7. Why we're scared of clowns? Okay, this one might seem obvious, given the sheer number of creepy clown portrayals in pop culture. But our aversion to clowns goes deeper than Pennywise. It's a fascinating blend of the uncanny valley, ancient threat detection, and our primal need to read faces for safety. Clowns are designed to be playful and joyous, yet they often trigger profound unease, or even outright terror. Why? Because they violate a fundamental rule of human interaction: consistent, readable facial expressions. Clowns wear exaggerated makeup that distorts natural human features, often painting on permanent, unnaturally wide smiles or sad frowns. This fixed, unreadable expression triggers our ingrained alert system. For millennia, recognizing emotions and intentions from facial cues was critical for survival. Is that person a friend or foe? Are they angry or welcoming? A face that looks human but doesn't behave like one. A painted smile that never changes. Eyes that convey nothing behind the paint is deeply unsettling, because our brains can't categorize it. It's a human shape that defies our fundamental need for predictable social signals. Coupled with their often erratic, unpredictable movements, clowns become a perfect storm of threat signals. It's not just the makeup. It's that your brain can figure out if they're harmless or about to dismember you. So your discomfort with clowns isn't a modern phobia. It's your ancient brain screaming, unknown variable detected. Threat assessment inconclusive, run. Number 6. Why we flinch at sudden loud noises. You're scrolling through TikTok, minding your own business. When suddenly a high-pitched scream or a loud bang erupts from your speakers, what's your immediate reaction? Full-body flinch, maybe a dropped phone, and a surge of adrenaline that leaves you momentarily shaky. It's an instantaneous, involuntary response, far too quick for conscious thought. This isn't just about being startled. It's a deeply ingrained reflex known as the startle response. And it's a quintessential example of an ancient survival instinct still operating at full throttle. Back in the day, a sudden loud noise wasn't just annoying. It was a potential death knell. Was it a falling tree branch? A predator lunging? An invading enemy? Your ancestors didn't have the luxury of leisurely assessing the situation. Their brains were hardwired for immediate defensive action. The flinch prepares your body. Muscles tense, heart rate spikes, and senses sharpen, all in a fraction of a second, ready to fight, flee, or freeze. This almost comically exaggerated reaction to a YouTube jump scare is the same mechanism that kept our Stone Age relatives from becoming lunch. So next time your friend sneaks up behind you and yells, don't just blame them for being a jerk. Thank your primitive brain for ensuring you're always ready for anything, even if anything is just a cat video turning into an advertisement. Your nervous system is basically a hypersensitive tripwire from 20,000 BCE. Number 5. The compulsion to check if the door is locked. You're halfway down the street, keys in hand, and suddenly that nagging voice pops into your head. Did I really lock the front door? You know you did. You vividly remember turning the key. But the thought persists, a tiny, annoying itch in your brain that eventually forces you to turn back, walk all the way home, and jiggle the handle just to be absolutely sure. This seemingly irrational compulsion, a milder form of what can sometimes manifest as OCD, has deep roots in our evolutionary past. For our ancestors, security wasn't just about peace of mind, it was about physical survival. An unsecured dwelling meant vulnerability to predators, rival tribes, or thieves. Forgetting to block the cave entrance or secure the camp could have catastrophic consequences, jeopardizing not just your own life, but the lives of your entire group. Our brains developed a powerful memory system for crucial safety tasks, reinforced by the high stakes involved. The modern equivalent, locking your door, turning off the stove, unplugging the iron, might not carry the same immediate threat of a bear attack, but your brain still treats these actions with the same gravity. It's an overzealous internal checklist designed to prevent potentially fatal oversights. So, that annoying urge to double-check. It's just your brain's ancient risk assessment committee holding an emergency meeting, demanding proof that your modern cave is properly secured. Number 4. Why we can't stand being ignored. Imagine being at a party, telling a story, and someone just walks away mid-sentence. Or you send a text, and it's left on read for days. That hollow, slightly painful feeling of being utterly ignored isn't just a blow to your ego. It's a deep, primal hurt that taps into our most fundamental survival needs. For early humans, social connection wasn't a luxury. It was the ultimate survival tool. Being part of a tribe meant protection from predators, shared resources, and assistance in times of sickness or injury. Exclusion from the group, or being ignored, was tantamount to a death sentence. It signaled a loss of support, an inability to rely on others for basic needs, and ultimately a heightened risk of perishing alone. Our brains evolved a sophisticated social pain system, where being ostracized literally registers in the same regions of the brain as physical pain. This social pain acts as a powerful deterrent, forcing us to maintain our social bonds. So when that friend leaves you on red, that twinge of discomfort you feel isn't just you being overly sensitive. It's your ancient brain screaming, warning, potential social abandonment. Re-engage tribe immediately for survival. It's basically your inner caveman panicking about being left to fend for yourself against a woolly mammoth. Number 3. The uncanny valley and why creepy dolls exist. Ever seen a robot that looks almost human, or a doll with hyper-realistic eyes, and felt a shiver of discomfort rather than wonder? That's the uncanny valley in action, and it's a perfectly normal, albeit unsettling, psychological phenomenon. It describes our negative emotional response to things that are nearly, but not quite, human. The closer something gets to perfectly replicating human features without actually being human, the more revulsion or unease it tends to generate. Why? Because our brains are exquisitely tuned to recognize living beings, especially other humans. For millennia, discerning friend from foe, healthy from sick, or alive from dead was crucial for survival. A being that looks mostly human, but deviates in subtle, unsettling ways like stiff movements, blank eyes, or an unnaturally smooth complexion, triggers an ancient alarm system. Is it a corpse? It's a diseased person? A cunning predator in disguise? Your brain can't quite categorize it, and that ambiguity is perceived as a threat. It's like your internal alarm bell screaming, warning, abomination detected, cannot compute intentions, flee. So, your aversion to those unsettlingly lifelike dolls isn't just about creepy movies. It's your primal brain trying to protect you from something that looks wrong. Number 2. Our obsession with true crime. You binge-watch documentaries about serial killers, listen to podcasts dissecting cold cases, and spend hours down Reddit rabbit holes about unsolved mysteries. You're not alone. The global obsession with true crime is massive, and while it might seem morbid, it's actually rooted in deeply practical ancient survival instincts. For our ancestors, understanding threats was paramount. Who were the dangers in their environment? How did they operate? What were their patterns? Learning about the behaviors of predators, both animal and human, was a form of vital intelligence gathering. True crime serves a similar purpose today. By immersing ourselves in stories of violence, betrayal, and danger, our brains are essentially running simulations. We're learning about potential threats, analyzing human behavior in extreme circumstances, and unconsciously developing strategies for self-preservation. It's a low-stakes way to understand the dark underbelly of human nature, and by extension, better protect ourselves. Our fascination with the macabre isn't necessarily about reveling in suffering. It's about satisfying an ancient, hardwired need to understand danger. So, your true crime addiction isn't weird. It's just your primal brain doing its homework, trying to figure out how not to become a victim. Number 1. The terror of being buried alive. This one hits different. The thought of being trapped underground in a coffin, unable to move, unable to breathe, it's a universal nightmare that transcends simple claustrophobia. While fear of enclosed spaces plays a part, the unique horror of being buried alive taps into an even more profound, ancient terror. The absolute, total loss of control, and the inability to escape an imminent threat. For early humans, being trapped meant certain death. Whether caught in a rockfall, a collapsing cave, or by a powerful predator, the inability to move, fight, or flee was the ultimate vulnerable state. Our bodies are designed for movement and escape. Being rendered completely immobile in the face of danger is antithetical to every survival mechanism we possess. The thought of suffocation, combined with total sensory deprivation and the knowledge that rescue is impossible, triggers an existential dread that few other fears can match. It's not just the dark or the small space. It's the complete and utter removal of agency, the ultimate defeat of the fight-or-flight response. Your brain recognizes this as the absolute worst-case scenario, the final, inescapable trap. So, that chilling dread you feel, it's your ancient brain screaming, "Do anything but let this happen. Escape is life. Entrapment is ultimate doom." That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them,